Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm doing my August wrap up. Yes, I am a bit behind, but hey. So we're gonna get started into this straight away. So the first 4 books that I read for the month of August, if I do look down, it's because I'm looking at my computer to make sure I remember what ratings I gave, because I'm filming with my phone. So the first 4 books I read was the last 4 books in the Villain series. So I read Mother Knows Best, which I gave 3 stars. The Odd Sisters, which I gave 3 stars. Evil Things, which I gave 1.5 stars, and Cold Hearted, which I gave 2 stars. So yeah, the series as a whole was okay. It wasn't bad, like it wasn't horrible, like I was able to finish reading it, but it wasn't great either. There is another book coming out which I feel like I kind of want to read just to see. But yeah, so these books tie in quite well with the other books. If I say quite well, everything has been overly connected. Like, the authors tried to connect all the characters to each other way too much, and it's kind of just makes it like a bit of a mess to me personally. And these 2 books, I just didn't feel like they really should have been in that class in this series. Like, they should have been in their own. The Evil Things, the one on Cruella de Vil, like, and you saw I gave 1.5. I just struggled with this one. I could not enjoy it at all. And then this one on Lady Tremaine, from Cinderella's Story, like sort of how she become the evil stepmother, like the wicked stepmother. Like, it was just, yeah, they didn't belong with the other ones because it just didn't make much sense. So yeah, I didn't enjoy that much at all. So the month didn't start out great. I then was listening to Behind Her Eyes, which I actually ended up DNFing. So any books that I DNF, I always give 1 star to, because for me that's a DNF. 1 star's a DNF. 1.5 stars is I read it but I could not stand it, and then 2 stars is it was good, it was alright, it was okay. 3 stars was I enjoyed it, that I sort of connected with it and it was good. 4 stars was like really good, like I really loved it. It really spoke to me. I really loved the characters. And 5 stars for me is just absolutely, it's a perfect book. Like, I could think of no wrong for it. Like, the author done an amazing job. So those roughly, don't think my description of it was very well. It makes sense for me in my head, but obviously it's I don't know if you guys quite get it, understood what I was saying, but that's sort of roughly how I personally rank them. But you know, everyone is to their own and how they want to rank them. Like, that's what I love so much about reading, is that it's so personal and subjective to the person and their opinions. So that's what I love about it. So yeah, anyway, I then was listening to Behind Her Eyes on Audible, which, like I said, I DNF'd, 1 star, by Sarah Pinborough, which apparently this book is actually quite well loved, but I couldn't get into it. Apparently there's like a film or a show or something on this book, but I couldn't connect with it. And I feel like with psychological thrillers, you need to be hooked in and grasped straight away to really want to find out what's going on and what's happening, and really get to the bottom of the story and the mystery and the plot twist. But for this one, I just couldn't. There was something about it that that was just not grasping me and connecting with me, and it just felt very bleh. Is the best way I can describe that. So yeah, and then I went on to read 4 poetry books by Donna Ashworth for my Out of My Comfort Zone video, which I will link as well for you guys if you want to go check that one out. So I read I Wish I Knew, which I gave 4 stars. History I'll Remember When the World Stopped, which I also gave 4 stars. This is a nice small one. To the Women, Words to Live By, which I also gave 4 stars, and The Right Words When You Need Them Most, which again I also gave 4 stars. As you guys can see, I've tabbed them, quite a lot of tabs in here, but I really enjoyed these poetry books. Like, again, it was sort of out of my comfort zone, so you know, this was something that I wouldn't normally read, and I wouldn't normally like read these sort of books. And you know, since school, I did poetry in school, and it was really, you know, when you're doing it for school, it really doesn't entertain you. So yeah, these ones are really, really nice, and I really do recommend reading these. She's got some more coming out, which I've already got on my TBR list, ready to get. I think they come out, is it October they come? I think they come out in October. I will check that and put the date up there somewhere so you guys can see. But you know, so this one is just literally poems to soothe your soul and strengthen your spirit, and you know, I really felt this one, like, it really did connect with me, and I really enjoyed reading it and finding out what really sort of finding out more of myself, I guess you could say, and you know, just really connecting with me. And definitely in the time that I was in a rough patch. So yeah, this one obviously relates to the pandemic, which you know all of us went through, and there's some really good ones in here, that really touching ones that, you know, I think is worth everybody reading. To the Women, so this one is specifically for women. I really recommend it. There's a lot of body confidence poems, some really sort of how do I want to put it down, I want to make sure I word these right, you know. They're really, you know, focused on, you know, women really realising the beauty that's within them, you know, as well as their physical forms. It's just really about women really just sort of realising that, you know, it's okay to be yourself and not to feel judged and criticised by society. So that was a really good one as well, I recommend. And The Right Words When You Need Them Most, which this one really, I was having tears. I cried a lot with her poems, because they really just sort of really hit home. And like I said, you know, when you're going through a rough patch and you're reading things like this, they really hit a lot harder. And I will definitely be going back through these at some point, you know, in my rough times. These poems, I think I will definitely be going back to, you know. I've got, like I said, I've got highlights in here. You've got my little key, you know, for my special poems, ones that just really, really stood out to me, you know. This one, I'll read this one from this book called One Tiny Step. When things get tough, really tough, and you don't have the will, the answer, or the energy to fight anymore, there is only one way to go forward, one tiny, tiny step at a time. If you can't see the way forward, look quite simply for the very next step and take that. You're moving, one tiny step at a time. Eat something, read something, watch something, answer one text, send one email, shower. Any of these steps will keep you moving and keep you afloat. Congratulate yourself and rest. Your body is not impervious to the stresses of the times, and your brain is often both overloaded and undernourished. Your well-being thrives on freedom, sunshine, love, joy, and these are not always in plentiful supply. So one tiny step at a time, my friend. Do not add pressure to be perfect to your list of worries. In this life, there is no space for that. Like, that one really, really hit me. Because I was just, you know, just coming to terms with my diagnosis of FND and finding out that, you know, how my life's pretty much going to be. You know, we hope and pray that I can make a recovery with the therapy that they offer. But, you know, there is no guarantee. So, you know, I just, yeah, that really, 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 really meant something to me reading those. I then moved on to the next lot of like genre for my coming soon video, and I read the entire Heartstopper series, and I read them all in one day. I like literally I'd read them all in a couple of hours and I was left wanting more. And I think I gave them all 4 stars. Like, I loved them. I was in love with the characters, I was in love with the story, and just, you know, it's just so heart-wrenching to see such like true feelings and thoughts and stories for those in the LGBTQ plus community put on paper for the rest of the world to see and to really feel and understand what we as a community go through. And it's just, I loved it. And I literally, after finishing the 4th one, I searched up for the 5th volume because it mentions the 5th volume at the end. I searched up February next year, guys. We have to wait till February. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, like, you can't do that to me. You can't make me wait till February for these. But yeah, I do still have to watch the TV series, but I'm like holding back because I'm like, I don't want to relive all the pain and heartache and love at the same time and joy. I'm like, while I'm in that cell zone of waiting, I'm like, do I want to really just go back? Yeah. And you know, there's only 1 season now. I'm like, do I want to watch 1 season and be heartbroken and not have anything else to watch after? I think I might have to wait till all the seasons are out and just be able to watch them all. Because I don't think I can handle just doing 1 season. I think my heart would break. Now, the last 2 books that I read for the At My Comfort Zone video was both the Before the Coffee Gets Cold and Before the Coffee Gets Cold Tales from the Caf. Now, these books, I did really enjoy them, and the translation from Japanese to English was really well done. Sometimes when you get books that have been translated, the writing can still be quite choppy and not really flow in sentences, so it can still make it quite hard to read and understand. But these were really well done, and the sentences did really flow, which made it so much more easier. I gave the first one 3.75 and the second one 3.5. I have recently seen that he's coming out with a 3rd one, so I am interested to get that one and read that one too. But yeah, so in this one, I read the back. Are you listening? Kazu continued when returning to pass the most of the drink. There we go. In a small back alley in Tokyo, there is a cafe which has been serving carefully brewed coffee for more than 100 years. But this coffee shop offers its customers a unique experience, the chance to travel back in time. In Before the Coffee Gets Cold, we meet 4 visitors, each of whom is hoping to make use of the cafe's time-travelling offer in order to confront the lover who left them, receive a letter from their husband whose memory has begun to fade, see their sister one last time, and meet the daughter they never got the chance to know. Which, that one, the last one, really broke my heart. I was like... So yeah, I really do recommend reading these ones if it's something that you're interested in. all my reviews of them are on my Instagram. I believe trigger warnings as well I've listed on my Instagram. I'm normally pretty good when I put reviews on post. If I can find the trigger warnings, I will list them as well so people can see them as well. But yeah, I did really enjoy these, and these, like I say, these rounded off the video quite nicely, I think. And I had quite a nice choppy and change in different genres I don't normally read, so it's definitely opened me up to all three of those genres. Like, I definitely would want to read more translated work as well, so I think that these ones and all the others for the video really done that video justice. So the next lot of books that I kind of was chopping and changing quite a bit. So then I read the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which I gave 4 stars to. I absolutely adored getting back into this universe, and because I absolutely love the Percy Jackson series. Like, they're my kind of books, they're what I like to read, so to be able to jump back into this universe, I really loved being able to do. It was great to meet some new characters as well, and also some old lovable characters that we loved. So yes, it says 3 new heroes, 1 missing demigod, a curse that threatens them all. And if I fail, Jason asked. Great victory requires great risks, Juno admitted. Fail and there will be bloodshed, like we've never seen. Demigods will destroy one another, the giants will overrun Olympus, Gaia will wake, and the earth will shake off everything we have built over 5 millennia. It will be the end of us all. Great, just great. So it was really good, and we got to bring in like the Roman side as well, mythology, so it was really, really good as well. But yeah, the tension just constantly builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just incredible. I love Rick Riordan's writing, it's just amazing. I then read an art copy of a book that I received, which was My Summer Fling, which I gave 3 stars. I did enjoy it. It wasn't like it's a bad book, but some of it, like especially the spicy scenes, just came off very cheesy, which I think kind of ruined it a bit for me. From that, the halfway point, I would say, probably is when it picked up and it was not too bad to read. But yeah, so that book, I was sort of, it was okay, it was good, but yeah, the spicy scenes sort of what ruined it for me, because they were very cheesy. So yeah, I then read the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series, The Son of Neptune, which I gave 4 stars to. Of course, like I said, this continues on. A certain character comes back into play. I'm not going to say who, because I don't want to ruin the story plot line. If you want to know, read the series. If you already know, you know he comes back. We love to see it. And he comes back in like a whole new world, shall we say. So yeah, it was really good, and again it was good to see the tension build and build and build and constantly characters reunite in the storyline, just constantly building. Like within every book the storyline builds, and it's just, I loved it, absolutely loved it, I adored it. I then DNF'd an art copy of a book called The End of the Road, so obviously I gave 1 star to. The beginning, I literally could not get past the prologue because it was so long, and it was also way overly scientific and specific, that it was just made it so hard to read. Like, I mean overly, like the use of scientific words was just over the top. Like, I couldn't make sense of what I was reading, so it felt like I then wouldn't be able to make sense of the entire book because it was just way too strong and intense, and I was just like, I panicked and I was like, I can't do this, I can't read this, it's just too much. So I didn't have to, like I said, I couldn't get past the prologue, just couldn't do it. It just, yeah. I then read them, well, I listened to The Maid and I gave it 2.75. I just couldn't enjoy this book that much. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't very, like, I think it's classed as like a thriller, I think. Let me check. Let me have a look. Maid. No, that's what I wanted. The Maid. yeah, mystery, thriller, literary fiction. Mystery, yeah. Thriller, yeah, I wouldn't say so. Not really. There wasn't really much thriller-esque to it for me. It was just very bland, very monotone. It didn't feel like there was any like high and rise at all in it, to me personally. Obviously I don't know what you guys think, let me know in the comments, but yeah, it was a bit, it's sort of one of those ones that I just had happily playing, like listening to as I was doing other things, because I wasn't intrigued to really just sort of sit and listen to it and enjoy it. So yeah, that's that. I then read The Mark of Athena, which is the third book in the Heroes of Olympus series, and I gave 4 stars too. Again, I loved it. I'm not going to say much because I don't want to ruin the storyline or the plot, but I'm just going to keep saying tension and characters. Like, the development of the characters throughout, incredible. Like, it was so beautifully done. Like, it wasn't like this really quick snap of a development, like overnight they're a completely new person. Like, it was so gradual when, you know, you see the relapses and the building themselves back up again. So that was really, really good to see. I then read another art copy of a book called Droplets of Magic by Bybee, which I gave 3.75 stars. This was my first Bybee book and I really enjoyed it. It's like the 3rd or 4th book in a series, so I do want to read the ones before it and obviously the ones coming after. But I really did enjoy this. Like, it wasn't quite what I was expecting, and it did surprise me. It wasn't like a really fast paced building plot either. It wasn't too slow. I felt like it was quite good paced. But yeah, I did actually enjoy this more than I thought. So I definitely recommend checking out her books if you guys do. And thank you to Katie and PA, who sent me their arc as well. I'm sorry if I said that completely wrong though. But yeah, thank you to them. I will leave them down below as well if you want to go check them out. I then read the last 2 books in the Heroes of Olympus series. So I read The House of Hades and The Blood of Olympus, which again, adored, loved, tension, characters. The ending had my heart breaking. I had tears, I was crying. Let's move on before I start crying again. So we went to the last 3 books that I read last month. So I then read Good Girl Complex and rated it 2.75 stars. There are some tabs, not many. This book, it was okay. I didn't really enjoy the characters or the theme, like the trope of this book, which I guess would be classed as sort of like revenge relationship. Like, yeah, I didn't like it. How it started, the middle, the end, and there wasn't really any part of it I liked. It was very difficult for me to like. So yeah, I didn't enjoy this at all. Like I said, the storyline just felt very childish and immature for the age of the characters, of what they were. They're over 20 and it just didn't feel right. The plot was very, very slow, and then I feel like it was this last bit and it sort of just rushed. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I did not enjoy this book at all. So I'm moving on. And then the last 2 books that I read, both 4 stars, and those were the first 2 books in the Darkest Mind series. So it was The Darkest Mind and Never Fade. So it says, Ruby is 16, she is dangerous and she is alive for now. A mysterious disease has killed most of America's children. Ruby might have survived, but she and the others emerged with something far worse than a virus, frightening abilities they cannot control. Pressured by the government, Ruby's parents send her to Vermont, a brutal state rehabilitation camp, where she has learned to suppress her new power. But what if mastering it is a whole generation only chance of survival? I really enjoying the series. I'm about to start the last book. So there's another one, the third one, which I have read, and I'm about to start the last one. I really enjoyed it. One thing I did hate, I don't know if you guys can see, but all these like dark purple tabs are all things that the film like missed or didn't get correct. Like, can you see that? That's a lot of tabs. Like, I really feel like the film has let this book down. Like, I generally like the film's good, but then to see how wrong it is against the actual book, like how much it missed or information it gets like incorrect, like the small details do matter for this book, and I feel like you just need to read the book. Like, the book is so much better than the film, and then I recommend continuing the series because, honest to God, it gets so much better. Like, it just keeps getting better and better and better. I generally recommend reading this series. Like, again, there's a massive tension building. There's so many plot twists. There's so many unexpected like facts and everything. Just it's really surprised me how much I've enjoyed this book. Like, like series and stuff, I didn't really think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. But the more I've read it, like I say, the more I'm in love with it, and I'm about to start the last book, and I kid you not, as soon as I finish recording and I'm downloading this video up onto my laptop to edit, I will be starting that book so I can get it read. But yeah, I've adored the series, so I really do truly recommend it. But yeah, that's all the books I've read this month. I read I've read 27 books this month, which is good for me. But you know, nobody should feel like they should be reading that many books. Like, if you read 1 or 27 books a month, like, that is still amazing. It doesn't matter. Everyone reads at their own pace. Everyone reads what's suitable for them. So never feel pressured to read anything more. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I am planning on filming some tier ranking videos, so if you guys want to let me know down below what kind of tier ranking videos you would like to see. And yeah, I will see you guys in next week's video. Ooh, if you got this far, leave a star. There you go. Leave a star emoji. That will do. Yeah. So yeah, remember to keep smiling, be kind, keep reading. Bye guys.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.